All right, as a content creator, I've been searching around and I'm kind of convinced about the holy grail. There has to be a structure or formula that I can just take content and kind of plug it in and systematically be able to go through and confidently have a video that grabs attention, keeps that attention, gets engagement, and at the end, gets people to take action. And is that a pie in the sky kind of thought or idea? I wanted to know. So what I did is I went and I spent a lot of hours looking at some of the top creators, which I'm going to show you in this video, and what they're doing to create videos consistently that get that engagement that I'm talking about. And the thing of it is, there is no formula, but there is a structure, and there's a kind of a sequence, kind of a magic structural sequence that you can follow. And by the end of this video, I'll show you what it is. But what's even more important is not only that structure, but the ability to go through and pull that out from videos that you see online so that you don't ever have to take that expensive online course ever again to learn how to use video for your marketing, for your landing pages, for what you do as a creator online. This is going to be a great video. Promises a lot, but it's also going to deliver a lot. Check it out. Okay, so huge promises here, right? But I'm going to take you on a little bit of a journey. Same journey I went on. Look at some of these top creators. Let's try to pull out those patterns and similarities, and let's come up with a structure or formula for creating videos consistently. Get attention, engagement, keep it, and then have people follow through with your call to action. One of the first people we're going to look at is Brian Dean. Now, Brian Dean's interesting because he's part of Backlinko, higher rankings, more traffic. So first of all, of course, he's concise about his header. But then if you look here, so to grab interest, he's got clear and concise thumbnails, and the thumbnails do not duplicate the heading. So that's one of the worst things you can do, of course, is just duplicate the heading. This catches your initial interest. SEO strategy for 2020. The 8-step SEO strategy for higher rankings in 2020. Now, if you'll notice, of course, he says, get more views 2020. How to get more views on YouTube in 2020. It's from 11 months ago. So obviously he's updating previous content, but he really doesn't have that many videos, especially for the amount of subscribers he has. He's obviously doing stuff behind the scenes. Regardless, his videos definitely get attention. He's using his face, and there's trustworthiness there. He's got backlinko on all of these, and it's very consistent, branded, and so on. So obviously that's someone to learn from, and not only from watching his videos, but also just looking at his thumbnails. The next person we'll go to is Ping Jun. He only has 30,000, but Ping Jun is pretty cool. I've seen him speak, and he's really good, and I've taken his video challenge. It was a lot of fun. I learned a fair bit, but anyway, one of the videos we're going to highlight is 5 common mistakes marketers make with YouTube ad. Okay, these are costing you money. Okay, so don't do this, and he's burning money. So Ping Jun definitely reinforces the promise of his video within the thumbnail that he creates. What's interesting is that someone like Peter McKinnon really doesn't have to do as much at this point to really get attention for what he does. He's a master photographer, videographer, and his videos, hands down, are engaging. And at this point, he's got, enough of an audience, over 4 million subscribers, that, he doesn't really do necessarily the thumbnail thing the way a lot of other creators will do. He relies instead, he has creative thumbnails, like this one, Break the Habit. And this is interesting visually, which is something you can do. I'll show you another person that does this really well, I think, Peter Lindgren. And he doesn't follow the same thing that Ping Jun does, but his visual is, he has some visually powerful thumbnails. So he relies upon the visual to grab your attention. He has this How I Plan My Video, 5 tips, but otherwise he gets into creating a powerful and interesting, visual. Look at this. How to shoot a semantic B-roll of a blacksmith. I mean, that's a cool image. So that image goes a long way. Or someone like Miles Beckler. These are there's a contrast between the people who make videos that are more like talking heads. Like this is, Miles Beckler gives a ton of really useful information. Definitely one to watch. But he's not there, going out and being a Peter McKinnon. He's not using those camera moves and everything like that. He's more of a talking head. But he grabs your attention with these thumbnails, has his face on there, and, which is better? Keyword research. No one tells you this. So he's definitely grabbing your attention. So that's one thing that you want to do, whether it's visually, like what Peter Lindgren does, or if it's more like what Miles Beckler does, or Ping Jun. Here's another one, Jason Whaling. I like him. He has 44,000 subscribers, certainly not the 4 million that Peter McKinnon has. But he definitely uses, the thumbnails to capture attention. 30-minute landing pages, do this one thing, YouTube ads experiment. He's got some engaging thumbnails. So it's with a promise. So it grabs your attention and gives you a promise at the same time. Oh, here's the content bug. Her channel grew quite fast. She has a similar sort of thing and has the thumbnails. My best advice again, there's a powerful way to use the thumbnail to capture attention. My secret strategy. Without being so over the top, but she does get her faces in there, the shocked look and things like that, which is kind of fun to do. Okay, so after getting attention via the thumbnail, obviously you want to get that attention with the initial start of the video. I'm going to show you some cool videos that do this quite well, but in different ways and from different angles. Because depending on your channel, you might want to approach it artfully. An example of that would be like Peter McKinnon or Peter Lindgren, or it might be a little more straightforward with some visuals that reinforce what you're saying, and you're being more of a talking head. So first, let's check out Peter Lindgren. Okay, so this is really cool. And he's basically looking at the Insta361R, and it's his first impressions. And he's using that fast-paced kind of motion. And he also has this big-ass knife, which, what? Visually, it kind of stops you in your tracks, and people love to see the unboxing. So it's a great way to start, and it fulfills on the promise from the headline. So, and I love how he starts this also with this visual close-up. And look at this, as he comes in on this.
This has to be like the next level of action cameras, because this is not only an action camera, it's also a 360 camera. Cool as that.
So fulfilling on the promise from his initial attention grab, and it's really cool. It's fast paced, and so you've got that kind of using your camera and the visuals to help drive that interest. Now it's a little bit different from, let's say, Miles Beckler. Miles Beckler, 122,000 subscribers, really great guy, sharing a lot about what he does to be successful online. Not really holding things back, non-hypey, really one to watch. One I'm learning a lot from, and really great to see. But let's watch what he does.
Hey, Miles here, milesbeckler.com. This video is all about single opt-in versus double opt-in. Specifically, you're going to learn what the right approach is for you in growing your email list and ultimately growing your business online. Because
okay, so he's just basically stating the promise, and one benefit to stating your promise is, of course, an SEO benefit because you're restating the headline, and that is like another way to kind of insert your keywords in there. So kind of sneaky way to do that, but it also reinforces that, okay, yes, you click through, yes, this is what you want to learn, and he's telling who he is and go on from there. So you definitely captured your interest that way. Okay, I'm going to show you another way, and this is with Ping Jun. He's really good. He's well known like with ClickFunnels, and I've seen him on stage. He has a different approach. It actually looks like he's not really worried about his camera. It looks like he's using the webcam. This is a very different approach where you're just basically giving people information, but it still grabs their attention. Watch this.
So let's talk about the 5 common mistakes marketers are making on Facebook ads right now, and how these mistakes are costing you money, and if you were to watch all the way to the end of this video, you're gonna realize that you're leaving a ton of money on the table if you could make your campaigns a whole lot tighter by avoiding these mistakes.
Okay, so he definitely has a good hook there. Listen to the end. The promise is to listen to the end, so it definitely grabs the attention. He's got those 5 common mistakes marketers make with Facebook's ads. He reinforces his heading, definitely not relying upon his camera to really portray a story or give you optimal visuals, but it does grab attention and it does reinforce the promise. Now, this is very different from somebody like Peter McKinnon. Although early Peter McKinnon, here's an early Peter McKinnon, take better shots with your iPhone. Check this out.
And today, we're talking about how to make the most out of your iPhone photography. Ooh, it's gonna be a good one.
Okay, now it's very much the same. He's there, he's talking to the camera and he's reinforcing what he's going to tell you. Now, this is quite different from a later Peter McKinnon, which is on Deliver a Feeling.
I'm creating all the music in my bedroom. So I have my studio under the bed. It's just me, my laptop, and a pair of speakers. That's all it is. It's hard to get inspiration in a small place.
So there, he's relying upon story and the visuals and like the sound. And this is about delivering a feeling, so it makes sense that it has it there. It's far different from Peng Joon or Miles Beckler. And different audiences, of course, but it gives you a different idea. Let me show you another one. This is pretty cool. This is from video creators Tim Schmoyer, 503,000 subscribers. This one is Hollywood versus YouTube, the search for real success. And this one, I'm really looking forward to watching more of his. He has a series he's doing, and he spent a lot of time, and he's going and talking to different creators. Check this out.
You think this is going to be the end-all be-all, and it's not. The YouTube creator with 10 subscribers wants 100. The guy with 100 wants 1,000. 1,000 wants 100,000. I thought seeking the higher levels of success would make me happy, and it didn't.
Okay, so he's giving you a story right off the bat. There isn't the same. They have the headline, but he's not, trying to reinforce it. He's more giving you a visual story and giving you hints of what's to come through what he's talking about to capture your attention. And this is more artfully done in the artful vein of Deliver a Feeling from Peter McKinnon. So it's that different level where you're taking your camera and making visuals versus, something like Peng Joon or Miles Beckler, where he's definitely giving you information, but he's a talking head, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's for his audience. This works great. But for me, I'm looking at maybe combining the two. Right now, a lot of my videos have more of a talking head look, and I'm looking at kind of combining these two effects of artfully creating with the camera while also delivering information in an impactful way that's not hypey. I think that's really the way to go because it engages your audience, leverages the camera and the visuals and storytelling while also reinforcing information and what you can get from that. I think that's more of the future of things is people get tired of just watching talking heads. They want to be more entertained. And so I think that's the way to go. But that's the first part. It's getting that interest with a promise and then reinforcing that promise with visuals and content from the initial part of your video. Now, of course, let's go on to people's favorite, which is the B-roll sting. Now we've got one of the more popular things, which is to create this B-roll sting that you've got that kind of brands you and reinforces people when they see your video. They go, oh yeah, it gives you kind of a consistent look while being kind of cool, at the same time. Stings are so short and packed with creative energy that sometimes people can be very proprietary about your sharing their sting. At least that's been my understanding because it's not necessarily part of the video, but it is part of the video. Anyway, so I'll do my best to kind of share some flavor of a sting without getting in trouble with the copyright gods. Let's take a look. Okay, for this one, we're looking at We Together. And basically, this sting is really cool. Obviously, I'm not going to go through the sting because I'll play it slightly, but I really don't want to step on anybody's toes here. What he is doing here with his sting is really getting some close-ups, some visuals, and then has some music in there. And it's kind of a quick sting and doesn't rely as much upon, let's say, using some software, which a lot of people will do, you know, that glitchy effect and all that kind of stuff. But this channel doesn't, and it's kind of cool because he relies upon close-ups and some visuals that reinforce what the channel is about. What's nice is the way he ends it, you know, reinforcing what the channel is about, and just having a strong visual there. So that's really simple, but visually powerful at the same time. And it's one option to go with. Now, Peng Joon, he uses, I'm not going to play this because his is really short, but he basically uses a visual, a simple visual and some music. And that's kind of another way to go. Again, that you can probably hire out on, I guess, Fiverr and whatnot. Here, I like this one. This is from Evan Carmichael. Basically, he's reinforcing what his channel, he's telling you what his channel is about, and then reinforcing it with visuals from some of the previous videos he's done. So you can check it out.
And I don't believe that.
Want to be happy? Build a life, not just a business.
Build a life, not just a business. And then he brings in some visuals of guests he's had. And so it reinforces what his videos are about, and also gives some powerful visuals and music. And it's really cool. It doesn't rely as much upon, you know, some software or whatnot, but really reinforces his message and the people he has on his show. Okay, so after the sting, a lot of people will come in there, tell you who they are, and why you should listen to them, reinforcing some of their stats, some of the people they've served or interviewed, or you know, anything that will basically reinforce their credibility or their authority with what they're talking about or what their channel is about. So I'm not necessarily going to go through some examples of those, because those are pretty short and you can kind of get the idea. Now, not everybody's going to do that with the lineup. Some people will say, hell, you know, what they've got coming up. So a reason to subscribe or like or comment, a question that they'll ask, so that you'll listen to the content they're giving, and also think about commenting below. So that's a little trick you can do. But the other thing that people will do is basically have pattern interrupts. They'll have the camera go from a different angle. They'll do a different scene. They'll bring in B-roll and music and kind of quick effects. And that breaks up the pattern, the visual pattern. Even if you're talking head, if you come from different angles, or close in and then far away, even that simply done, or coming up with visuals that reinforce what you're talking about, a quote, you know, a graphic, or a person, or a quick video clip that you have on there. A lot of people use these pattern interrupts or different visuals to basically break up what they're talking about, to keep visual interest. Then what a lot of people do alongside this is insert different hooks, letting people know, oh, you know, for example, keep watching, because if you like this tip, you'll definitely want to see tip number 6. And if they're talking about 10 tips and you're on tip number 3, you're going to want to keep listening. So they'll do different hooks that'll reinforce kind of listening to the content, and these hooks keep you going throughout. And so that you, instead of having a drop off, you've got that continued engagement. We're going to go through some of the call to actions they'll do that are really kind of reinforcing what they're talking about. And a lot of people will actually get you to watch more, not necessarily call to action to go to their website, because that's a harder thing to do. But the more watch time you get, the better off you're going to be. So they have people watching a series, going to the next video, and really getting more help with whatever problem that they had or issue that the video talked about, the content that they talked about. They'll have a follow-up sequence or follow-up video that they'll want to watch, you to watch, and then they'll sneakily grab in there after a bit to a call to action within the description. Let's take a look at some of the hooks and calls to action that people use, so you can get some inspiration on what to do with your own video. Okay, so here are my different examples of calls to action. We got 3 different types. I'll cover more types in a future video, but basically, this is one of my more favorite ones. Listen to this one. This is Miles Beckler at the end of his call to at the end of this particular video. Anyway, he's got this call to action. Check it out.
On that note, I'm going to cut it. I appreciate you. Let me know if you have any questions for me at this point. Be sure you subscribe, hit the bell. If you made it to the end, hashtag badass to you. Good job making it to the end. Most people don't. Most people won't make it all the way to the end of their business either. Maybe you're one of those 1%. 1% who are actually going to make it all the way to the promised land. Maybe you're one of those few who are going to build the actual business of your dreams. If you are, shout it out in the comments and let me know. I'm one of the 1%. I'm going to make it all the way. I want to know who made it to the end. On that note, I'm going to call it. Thank you again for your time, and I'll see you on the next video. Till then.
So this one's great because he does the hashtag. He's like, man, if you made it to the end of this video, most people don't. It really calls out that person who did make it to the end, and then kind of gives them a little extra to go on. Of course, then he's got a couple of links there, but he does that call to action. It's a good one to have there. Here's Nick Nimmin, and check out the way he does his right here. This is more of an all-inclusive call to action that you can use on pretty much any video. Watch this.
The niche that you're making content in. And as a quick reminder, I have that link to all the stuff that I've talked about down in the description below. And to learn more about growing your channel, making videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. So yeah, you've got that, kind of all inclusive, see this stuff I talked about in the description, and then, reiterating what the channel is about. It's a really good catch-all to use, really short and to the point. Here we got Brian Dean, and this is one of his more go-to, calls to action at the end. It has to do with specific questions about the content that he just covered.
Strategies from today's video are you going to try first? Are you going to start using pattern interrupts? Or maybe you're ready to increase your CTR. Either way, let me know by leaving a comment below right now. All right. Say what? No, I'm good. Because I'm kind of Mr. Burns a little bit. Okay.
So he also puts some humor in there with the outtakes that he kind of puts in there or injects on purpose. But I like his call to action because it's specific to the content that he just covered, and it calls out a question. And then you're more likely to comment below on there. So great calls to action kind of used in your own video. Which one are you going to try? So that's kind of like an all-encompassing kind of magic formula structure that you kind of use for your videos. There's certainly a lot there that's an inspiration for me, and a lot of the goals that I'm looking forward to in 2020. One of the major goals for me is to get out and use my camera a bit more, remove myself from the desk, get myself outside. I hope you found this useful. I certainly did, and there's a lot to creating videos that are engaging and keep interest, obviously on an ongoing basis. I think the blending, again, of using visuals and not just being a talking head is going to be one of my goals. So what's one of yours? What is something you're going to work on with your videos in 2020 and beyond? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe because I've got more series like this where we're looking at some of the top creators and breaking down some of the content that they develop and how you can use them as inspiration to develop your own content for your channel, for your landing page, or whatever content that you're creating. Thanks a lot for watching. Be sure to like this, comment below on what your goals are for 2020, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.